At the Nova Festival site in southern Israel, the families of Israeli hostages have begun a long march to Jerusalem. The marchers hope that the remaining 134 hostages are brought back home very soon, and their hopes have been raised by talks of a ceasefire. Well, the festival site near the Gaza border is where hundreds of Israelis were killed and hundreds more dragged away into Gaza in October.
145 endless days and nights of yearning for our loved ones would send them strength and ask them to hold a little longer. Omer, just a little longer. A deal is possible. Starting today, we will march for 4 days under the message, United for the Release of Hostages. We call on the public, on our families, on our friends, to join us on this march of hope from Gaza to Jerusalem.
Since US, Egyptian and Qatari mediators met in Paris last weekend, the Israeli press has been talking of a deal to pause the fighting, but no document yet has outlined the latest proposals. Speculation has only increased as US President Joe Biden has said an agreement might be in place by Monday. According to a US official, the Biden administration is also considering airdropping aid from US military planes into Gaza as land deliveries become increasingly difficult. This comes after a UN agency said that humanitarian organisations are being systematically denied access to Gaza and that aid convoys have frequently come under fire. Meanwhile, the plight of Gazans continues to mount. The death toll in the enclave has crossed the 30,000 mark. About 20 bodies were brought to a hospital in Gaza's Deir al-Bala after Israeli airstrikes hit refugee camps in central Gaza. On the same day, Israel also struck Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon. The Israeli military released a video showing the strikes on targets in towns close to the Israeli border. This came after Hamas said it launched 2 missile salvos from southern Lebanon into northern Israel. And that's not all. Amid soaring tension, Syria's defence ministry has said that Israelis carried out strikes near Damascus. The ministry added that its air defences responded to the missiles and shot down most of them. Earlier this week, an Israeli strike in Syria near the Lebanese border killed 2 Hezbollah members. Well, for more on this, we earlier spoke to our correspondent Jodie Cohen from Ra'anana. And Jodie, with the ceasefire deal remaining elusive, the plight of Israeli hostages and Gazan civilians needing aid, well, it appears to be increasing day by day. What more can you tell us, and do you think a deal will soon be reached?
Yes, so Qatar has relayed Hamas's response to the latest outline of a deal. Now, despite President Biden's optimism, remember, he believed that a deal could be agreed by Monday. Hamas, Israel and Qatar have all cast doubt on that timeline. An Israeli official has expressed very cautious optimism that a deal could potentially be reached, but said that progress is slow and large gaps remain. Israel is reportedly waiting for Hamas to provide a list of the hostages who are still alive, as well as a list of which Palestinian security prisoners Hamas wants released early from prison. And Israel has suggested that once it receives the information, then talks could then potentially advance. Now, on aid, Israel has said that it has video evidence that Hamas is stealing 60% of the aid that's meant for Gazan civilians, and said that aid inspected by Israel for weapons has been waiting for days to be picked up by UN agency for the Palestinians, UNRWA. Israel's now looking for alternatives to UNRWA, which it has accused of being complicit with Hamas.